Like with me, archery would be 10, which most people can't even relate to that, right?
Yeah, most people have a hard time finding anything that they really, really sync up with. But what I think is that when you see a guy like, you know, like a super athlete in like Mighty Mouse, when you see a fully dedicated super athlete, when you see, I mean, there's a lot of consequences to what Mighty Mouse does, extreme consequences. But then you go one more level, and that's sword fighting. I mean, these fucking people that lived in feudal Japan, the Ronins, he killed 60-something people with swords.
Yeah.
In one-on-one, you looking at each other and just fucking chopping people up.
Yeah, like Mayweather's is Mayweather 39-0?
49-0.
49-0.
49-0.
Imagine him being that guy.
Yeah. It's another level.
Right.
49-0 in boxing.
And it's not up to a judge. That's up to a sword.
Oh, yeah.
It's totally different.
Well, his style would never work.
So McGregor,
I mean, it would work. It actually would work a little
Mayweather.
bit because you're so vulnerable.
McGregor or Mayweather?
Are we changing subjects?
Yes.
Look, Mayweather is a way better boxer. There's just no doubt about it. He's one of the greatest boxer, if not the greatest boxer that's ever lived. And even though he's smaller, you're talking about a completely different level of skill, a completely different level of understanding of the subtle nuances of boxing. But that said, Conor McGregor is not incompetent. He's very dangerous. Floyd Maywrather is a way better boxer, but Conor McGregor is dangerous as fuck. And he has a really deceptive ability to move in and move out. He can cover distance very quickly.
Yeah.
And he can do so in a weird way. He can do so in a way where he might stun you. He might stun you and he might catch you early, and he hits really fucking hard.
I agree with that.
If Floyd can figure him out and start using his jab and using his movement. See, Floyd has traditionally had problems with southpaws, but he's never lost to one. He's talking about professional boxers. You also have the bigger glove factor. Conor's going to be wearing bigger gloves than he's ever fought in the UFC before. The UFC gloves are 4 ounces. Most likely, if I was Floyd, I would insist on 10-ounce gloves. I would want this motherfucker to have a lot of padding on his knuckles.
Go 8.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do that. I think everything
Conor
below
knock
one.
that sucker out.
Oh, you're so silly. What is the weight? What is the weight that they wear above 160? I think it's 10 ounces above 160 and 8 ounces below.
I've been to 2 Conor fights with you.
He's incredible.
And all I can say is when Conor hits a guy, their face instantly shows the fact that they don't know that it was really that. Is that fair to say? They
don't know that it was really that, meaning that he hit so hard, he stuns them.
I think people say, I know I'm going to get hit with that left, but when they actually get hit with the left, a person's expression reveals what they actually felt. And I think people feel like it's harder than what they did in training.
Well, you know that people
Is that true?
Yeah, for sure. Well, you know that people can run faster than people, right? You know there's certain people that have special gifts.
Right.
They have special gifts of athletic movement. And some people have, in extraordinary ways, gifts of power when it comes to striking. And it doesn't make any sense. But I've seen it from people where you see what you think is hard, and then you see someone else, and you go, what in the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, there's a video of George Foreman hitting the heavy bag.
Right.
And George Foreman was, I don't know if he had fought Ali yet. I don't know when this, I think this was before the Joe Frazier fight. I might be wrong about that. But pull up George Foreman hitting the bag, because it's a really recent clip that's been going around. Some people have sent it to me on Twitter.
Sure heavy. For sure heavy.
Heavy bags? Is that what you're saying? Oh, yeah, you could see it. You see the bag. You see him watch it. But you got to hear it. Listen to the sound of this. He's winding up, no doubt about it, but he's not trying to work on form. He's just work on power. Look at this.
Sadler had just literally been picked off his feet.
You gotta see when they show him really digging in. See, he's like swinging.
More prodigious sights I've had
Look at
in my
this.
life. It seems to me that of all the people I've seen hitting heavy bags, including Sonny Liston, no one ever hit it the way Foreman did.
And he would just wail these full power punches. And when he would fight people, like when he fought Joe Frazier, he hit him with punches that you could tell Frazier had never been hit like that before.
Right.
Like George Foreman was
moving his feet.
Watch this. Look at this. Dude, those last two are insane. So his ability to single power punch was so extraordinary that almost no one could stand in front of him and withstand that sort of a barrage. That's a freak athlete, and those come along. And when those come along, if they're smart too, and then they're really good at learning the sport too, a lot of people are fucked.
Good at trash talking.
Yes, and that's where Conor McGregor is. He's a freak athlete in the sense that he has there's a guy named Firas Zahabi who's one of the best trainers in MMA, George St. Pierre's trainer. He calls it the touch of death. That's the best way to describe it. He just zaps people.
I saw it. I saw when he hits people with that left, it doesn't look like you watch Brock Lesnar wind up and crack someone, which I saw, and then you see Conor, which you don't even realize the punch came in, and then their face is like swelling up instantly. That's like what we just saw with Foreman.
Yeah, well, it's extraordinary for sure. The difference between that and Foreman is obviously Foreman has big heavyweight gloves on, and he's punching a bag that a guy's holding, and there's a lot of padding between that dude and the bag. It'd be interesting to see when you see someone stand in front of Foreman and Foreman will hit them. He was like one of the most extraordinary power punchers in history.
Because it was like, have you ever been close to an airport and you see a big, like, 757 coming in? And you're like, is that thing going to fall?
It's too big to be flying.
Am I right?
Yeah.
But that's what Foreman's, when he would swing, you would think, okay, that's not doing much, and then you would just see people wrinkle.
Yeah. Well, he was a big guy, but not big by today's standards. I think Foreman was probably only like 220-something back in the day. See if you could pull up George Foreman versus Joe Frazier. He got way big as he got older. When he came back, when he was like super heavy, like he was well over 300 pounds, and he made his comeback. And I think he was like 36 years old. Nobody took it seriously. Then he started blasting people. Then after a while, people were like, wait, what? He just knocked out George Cooney.
Is it possible for Conor to
217.
blast?
Look at that. He was 217 when he fought Joe Frazier.
That's lighter than me.
But look up the video.
That's lighter than me right now.
Yeah, that's like UFC light heavyweight before they cut weight. Like John Jones probably weighs more than that, which is kind of crazy. But watch when he started connecting. It's a quick fight, man. It's a quick fight. George Foreman was fucking terrifying. Just go like deep into it, and you can watch the pummeling he gave him on the ropes. It was horrendous, man.
Yeah, when he hit him, he just shook. I remember this fight.
And he pushed him off, and boom, look at this.
Look at that. That's like him hitting the heavy bag. The guy's just like, what the hell?
Dude, look how fucking powerful Foreman was back then. Look at that.
Oh, my God.
That uppercut when Frazier collapses. Dude, play that again. This is insane. He was just so murderous.
Oh, my God. You saw
Oh, my God.
He was actually shook then before he
100%,
got that.
man. Boom. But this last uppercut, here it is. Boom. I mean, come on. It's incredible. Foreman was so scary.
Look at his hips.
He's so scary. Yeah, Joe Frazier took a horrible shot. Now, today they would probably stop the fight, I'd imagine, because he looked super wobbly.
Dang it.
But look at that.
He would miss out.
Right there, they would stop the fight. No, well, it was a quick knockout, man.
That looked
got up.
That looked fake almost.
No, it didn't look fake at all.
Did.
No, man, you don't know what you're talking about. He's wobbly because his central nervous system shut off.
He's wobbly because of what he took about 30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Not because of what he just took right then.
Oh, but that was part of it.
That
That's
was
why
like
I said they would have stopped the
dropping
fight.
on the top.
Yeah, but it didn't look fake. It didn't look fake. It was a guy who just.
I don't say it's fake, but I'm just saying.
I know what
because
you're saying.
of the fact they kept the match going. It didn't take much to finish it.
Right. Boom. Dude, he was terrifying.
Gosh. Yeah.
Well,
he's like, I don't want any more of these like cinder blocks dropped on my face.
What was incredible is that Frazier had gone 15 rounds with Muhammad Ali.
Right.
And then you see that, and you're like, wow, this is the scariest guy ever. And that's why they thought that George Foreman was going to kill Muhammad Ali. It was so depressing to people. I remember when I was a kid, my parents loved Muhammad Ali. It's like one of those things that people, the generation loved him because he didn't fight in the Vietnam War, and he wanted to like protest against these senseless wars, and so they stripped him of his title for 3 years. Like he was a different guy. Like he represented so much to people back then in some sort of a weird way. So when he fought George Foreman, people were so terrified that he was going to get beat up that Hunter S. Thompson didn't watch the fight. He was sent to Africa to watch the fight. He had tickets to be ringside at the fucking fight to report for it for the Rolling Stone. You know what he did? He just fucked around and wore a Nixon mask and climbed in a swimming pool and hung out all day and drank. He just did.
What?
He's like, fuck this. I'm not going to go see that. He was convinced that Muhammad Ali was going to get killed. And he loved Muhammad Ali.
Didn't want to see a legend die.
He didn't want to see it. And he missed the greatest come-from-behind upset victory in arguably the history of the heavyweight division. Even bigger than when he knocked out Sonny Liston to win the title. That was a big upset because everybody thought that Sonny Liston was just this fucking killer and this young kid. Talked a lot of shit. But once Sonny got a hold of him, he'd be fucked. But nope. So he boxed his face off.
Conor.
So you don't
Mayweather.
know. You don't know because we've never seen Conor box.
What would you say?
Mayweather's a way better boxer. But the consequences of Conor hitting you should be greater. And I say should be. Because I think he's certainly a stronger puncher than Mayweather, right?
Right.
But
I would agree.
He has boxing gloves on. And now, how much more of an effect is his punch going to have when he has a giant padded glove? You know, I would assume there's going to be a diminishing amount of the impact. It would be less. Yes, for sure. But how much? Also, the ability to block punches. It's far easier to block punches when you have big gloves on. Because when you have big gloves on, if you watch a guy like Floyd, he catches punches.
It's a shield.
Yes.
Right.
He catches punches, and he's...
Or even deflection.
And he's magical at moving away with them. Like, he gets hit, and he's hopping away on his feet, so you're catching the end of shots.
I don't know. Conor, as much as... I mean, I'm not a UFC buff, but all I can say is I've seen Conor McGregor shots go in when I didn't even know they were going there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But again, a 4-ounce glove is lighter than an 8-ounce glove. The punches are not going to be as fast. If it's a 10-ounce glove, it's definitely slower than a 10-ounce glove.
That's a good separation of boxing versus UFC then.
Well, there's also a good separation of the fact that there's many more openings when you have smaller gloves. When you have smaller gloves, it's much more difficult to cover your face. So Conor has extraordinary power. He's got extraordinary movement, and he's bigger. He's a far bigger guy. I mean, he's a big-framed guy, and he's strong and young. Floyd Maywrather is 40 years old. He's arguably the greatest boxer of all time. I mean, he's a phenomenal craftsman. Like, the way he understands the art of hitting and not being hit is extraordinary. Because he's not running away from guys.
No.
He'll stand right in front of you.
Right?
Yeah. He'll stand right in front of you and be untouchable. He's only been rocked, like legitimately rocked, maybe twice or 3 times in his whole career. He's outstanding.
What if you took those away? What if you took when he got rocked versus when Diaz choked him out? Do you think?
What are you talking about? We're talking about 2 different fighters.
Well,
what do you think? When Conor McGregor got choked out by Nick Diaz, or
if you take
Floyd Mayweather
out,
got rocked?
No, I'm talking when Conor got hit pretty hard and he came back, versus when Nate just choked him out. If you eliminate Nate choking him out, do you think he's got the heart to really stand through a full fight with Mayweather?
Well, he certainly does, because he went through a full fight with Nate Diaz. He won the rematch in a 5-round war.
Yeah, which was good.
It's you can never guess. Like, anybody who guesses what a guy has, like, as far as heart and determination, it's foolish. He'll show you with his actions, or she'll show you with her actions. You can't guess. So whenever people guess, they start saying, like, oh, he'll never be able to survive a tough fight, or oh, he doesn't have the guts. Then you mistake, like, your understanding of what you see in front of you for what's going to happen. And that's what a lot of people did with Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman. It's a lot of people do in a lot of fights. One of the things that makes this fight intriguing is we've never seen Floyd box a guy like Conor McGregor, and we've definitely never seen Conor McGregor box, especially at a level that that Floyd Mayweather is at. So him coming from being a 2-division UFC champion will help his confidence. He'll be scary. And one of the things that he said that's a psychological thing that no one could ever say to Floyd before, he said, listen, the way he goes, the only reason why this thing is fair is because we're playing by boxing rules. If it was a fight, I would fucking kill him. And the way he said it was like
100% accurate.
100% accurate. And he said in saying that something no one's ever been able to say to Floyd. Yeah. I will fuck you up. Like, and Floyd's going to know that at any moment. If Conor wanted to slide a little back and start kicking his face or kicking his legs out from under him, he wouldn't know what the fuck to do. Do you think he knows how to block a wheel kick? He's going to get kicked in the back of the fucking head.
Say Conor popped the referee and then just wheel kicked Mayweather.
He would have to, he would have to get close enough to him to do that, and it wouldn't be as easy as it seems. But the distance between punching and kicking is pretty substantial.
Right.
And Conor closes that distance in a really fast and really spectacular way. He comes at you with shit, front kicks to the body, and you're trying to figure out where he's coming and what he's coming with. It's very unpredictable. So I think in a boxing match, if you have $100 and you have to bet on someone, the odds are going to most certainly favor Floyd Mayweather because it's a boxing match. If it was a fight, it would be 100 million to 1 that Conor McGregor would fuck him up. I mean, I'm not exaggerating.
I'm putting my 100 on
Of course, I'm
Conor.
exaggerating. No one would give you those kind of odds, but it would definitely be something ridiculous if it was a fight. Don't you think? Like, what would it be? It was a fight, an MMA fight.
I don't know. If I had,
it would be 100 million to 1.
If I hadn't have seen Conor live. If I hadn't have seen Conor live and how people's faces looked when they got tagged by him the first time,
right?
I would say I would put money on Mayweather based on what you just told everyone with $10 to do. But the fact that I've seen people get cracked by him and I've seen their face swell up, by him, I don't know. I think he's gonna freaking rock him.
A lot of people in America do, and that's why we're going to sell it on pay-per-view. John Dudley, pay-per-view, coming soon. Apparently, they're trying to do it in September.
Here. We got hog to cook before I got a flight.
They're trying to do it in September, so that's what I heard on the internet.
September
I know as much
now?
as you people know. I just think if it does happen,
that's elk season.
Yeah, it'd be a problem. It's a problem.
It's better in June.
That's a problem. Thank you, sir.
We got to get out of here.
Fun times this weekend. Yeah, we got to cook up some
Jamie, you're
some
awesome.
wild pig. Powerful Jamie.
I like that